I was told by doctors and therapists and the system that I trusted to help get me better, that ultimately just kept me sick, that I was going to have to manage depression and anxiety forever. And that was just the way life was going to be on medication, and that was it. There was even one point in time in my therapy and seeing doctors that I was told that I had treatment-resistant depression. And if you're somebody that battles depression, struggles with it, hearing those words didn't mean like anything hopeful for me. It meant that I'm broken, that this truly was really going to be my life. And I believed it for over 20 years of my life. But it's not what I believe anymore. It took a breakdown in 2020 for me to hit that point in my life, truly hit that point in my life where I was like, I can no longer live like this. I don't know if there's any other way of living. I truly don't. But I have to figure it out because this is not it. This isn't it. And if you're somebody that is struggling, I just want to say this. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a professional. I am just a woman who has lived this, who has overcome it, who is overcoming it, who is actively healing, and just sharing my lived experience. You can take what fits, you can leave the rest. And there is a free workshop for women who say that they're fine, because listen, I know most of my life, I always said that I was fine, but truly I was not. So free workshop and a workbook in the description. Go check it out. So little about me. I come from a family. I was born into a family that lives in survival mode. Scarcity, victim mentality, poverty, and that's just the way things were. There was one thing that we never did in our family though, and that was talk about emotions. You know, I was told so many times growing up that time would heal it. When I was 10 and my parents divorced and there was a lot of things going on at that time, time would heal that wound. We don't talk about it. Okay, cool. When I was 12, I was in a car wreck with my older brother, Jesse. He was 16 and he did not survive. I did. And I lived with what I know now is survivor's guilt, but I didn't know it then. Okay. So at the time, we were just told time would heal the wound. We didn't even talk about him. Okay. I know that my parents were hurt too. I know that. But instead of talking about it and processing it and helping me understand anything, I was put into therapy and I was put on medication. I was told I was depressed. Well, yeah, of course I was depressed. Anyway, so fast forward to about 30. I learned on my own for the first time in my life that I had survivor's guilt. There was a reason, an answer for what I was feeling that no therapist, no doctor, nobody, no one professionally ever gave me those words. And it made sense. So that's when things started shifting for me. And it made sense then. And I was like, if this is okay, if there's words for this, is there truly another way to live? Instead of being in this depressive, miserable, anxious state, like it controlled my life. I was so unhappy. I hated my life. For over 3 decades of my life, I've hated it. Toxic relationships. I didn't love myself. I had low confidence. It was shitty friends, toxic relationships. I was chasing jobs, trying to fill this void that I felt in my soul. And nothing was filling that void and that space. And there was a part of me that was hopelessly waiting for that day, for that phrase, time would heal this, for me to wake up and magically I would feel better. I would feel great. I would love my life and I would go on and do all these amazing things. It never came. 2020, I hit my breaking point, and that's when I decided that I had to go all in on figuring out if there was another way to live. I wasn't modeled anything healthy growing up, so I didn't know. But I'm on this journey, and I have learned there is another way to live. There is another way to live your life by creating it, by dreaming about it, by actively taking action steps to build what is truly in alignment for you. That is one thing that I learned on this journey. I was depressed, yes, because I had trauma. I was also depressed because of, honestly, it was shaped when I was young. The worldview that my mother had, the way that she saw herself, my broken relationship with her. While both of my parents were very present, they were emotionally not there. Yes, I love yous and hugs were present, but again, emotional things were not talked about. And so my relationship with my mom is stemmed from her relationship with her mom. And her relationship with her mom was also shattered. Okay, you see what I'm saying? It's been passed from generation to generation. So I picked up those things from my mom at a young age. That shaped my world. That shaped how I saw myself. It shaped everything. And then you just add on life and, everything else on top of that. That's where it all comes into play. On this journey, I've learned that there's really 4 pillars that cover every area of your life. And I live by them. And it's like a flywheel. They just go together. So you have core, clarity, connection, and creation. And together, we're going to be talking about those on my channel. I'm going to be sharing what each of those are, how they play a part. I'm going to be sharing what I'm learning, what I'm struggling with, the breakthroughs that I'm having, and also we're just going to learn how to build and create the life that fits me and that ultimately fits you, because I don't believe that anybody is put here on this earth to struggle, to live in an unhappy state. I believe that we all have a purpose, and we all have different purposes. That is the only question that you can answer. Nobody could answer that for me, even though that I was searching for it in a lot of people, lots of jobs, and a lot of other things. It did not give me the answer. So I'm here sharing my journey, my story. Again, my lived experience. Take what fits, leave what doesn't. I'm not saying that this is the only answer. I know that everyone has different stories, different journeys, especially with like therapy and professional help. I, however, did not have a great success story with that. So again, take what fits, leave what doesn't. And along the way, I believe that if you're living a life in alignment to you, not to anybody else, to you, that you are actively living in that flywheel of core, clarity, connection, and creation, and actively building the life that you want. So, welcome to my channel. I'm going to be posting videos every Monday. Again, if you are looking for a workshop, if you're a woman that says, I'm fine, and you're really not fine, there's fogs. There's fog that you're living in, which I lived in most of my life. Four different areas of fog. Check out the workshop below. It's free. There's a workbook. It's there for you to consume. I'll see you in the next one.